Right over out, somebody's coming. Decided. I got to my junction point, which was there, going back into town and everything. And I thought, why don't you just do another little section, just a small piece. So I go up here, go along, and then come back round the track over there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have another half an hour of lovely fresh oxygen produced by the very busy little factories, which are the leaves of the trees, doing photosynthesis. Yeah, I think also, looking back at my life, I think I would like to, I did love biology. I did a lot of biology. I liked sociology. I liked history. There were so many things I liked, and I tried to learn maths if I could, didn't have a very good experience with maths at school. But I learned a lot. I had to do a course with the OU, a whole year of maths with them, before I could do the science thing. I really enjoyed all that, And my education, I enjoyed it all. I loved studying. And then, of course, later in life, I was doing a doctorate in health, but decided I was bored with academia, and it was costing me a lot of money, and it wasn't a good time for me financially then. So I packed it in. I thought I don't need to do any more, and I got fed up with the NHS. I'd done my masters and all that. I thought, no, I like family tree. I developed this brilliant hobby, and when I retired early, I got a camper van, and I went all around the UK digging up the ancestors, which I still do a bit now, because my kids provided me with wheels. But of course the weather's so bad, and I have to camp still. It's not a camper van, I've got to have a tent. So it's very, very limited times when I can go off like that. I mean, I occasionally stay in hotels, but I can't, it's all expense. But yeah, I love learning. I love being out here. It inspires me when I'm out here. Just breathing the oxygen. I always say I've got to get up the woods. I've got to get me oxygen. Right, I'm going to turn off. There's some lovely pictures of some bluebells, where they've got a little bit of sun and a little bit of shade here. Like I said, I didn't want to go back. I wanted to have another half an hour up here. It's too nice to go back and sit in a box when you haven't got a garden, you see. You go back and I get straight onto the tree usually, get something to eat, have a cup of tea, and then I do a lot of work in the winter on my trees, ready in preparation for the more explorations that I'll be doing on the family when I go up to Cambridge and Suffolk, mainly up those areas. I'd like to go to other areas as well, but I do find at 74 my energy levels have dropped quite a lot compared to how I used to be. But we get inspired. That keeps us going and motivated. So this is Sheila. Well, I come across this yew tree as I was leaving the wood. I noticed a different colour bark. Then I looked at this log someone had carved out. It says open your mind. Then if you go around the corner, there's a picture of a man with a moustache. Look. Open your mind. Yeah, there are. Yeah, it's interesting, that, isn't it? There are people that really love trees that are up here, and some people leave little rocks and stones, pebbles, sometimes little ornaments they place by trees, little notes they leave by them. Yeah, that's the first time. I bet that'll go missing. Someone will take that home, I think. Yeah, because I've seen other things up here. I've seen a lovely thing once before, a carving, and it was had the runes stones by it. That went missed. That was there for about a couple of weeks and that went. Whether the person who put it there took it back, I don't know. But someone's taken time to carve that. The yew tree as you enter and leave the wood, really, almost. This is a very ancient part of the wood where all the yew trees hang out. This is my way down, back to civilized, well, I don't know if it is civilization anymore. I don't know what civilization means anymore after what they've been doing in the Middle East. I just think the world's gone, not the whole world, not everybody, not all the life. Certain people that got the power are just riddled with evil, I think. Riddled. Yeah, in all my 74 years, I've never, I know the wars all wars are horrible, Second World War, First World War, all that, but I've never, and the Vietnam, you know, there were, and Afghanistan, all wars are horrible, but there's something really evil about this because no one's learnt from the past wars. And the killing is in extreme. In fact, it's worse because you've now got drones. You've got these sophisticated weaponry and very predetermined sort of stuff, you know. And I think it's worse. And I think it won't get any better. I worry about the planet, really. I worry about the life, beauty, and this terrible warrior gene that seems to be infectious and deceiving. I mean, in Russia, for example, they've lost nearly 2 million young people, and they're referred to as meat. I listened to this program on Radio 4 not that long ago. They were interviewing some of the Russians and some of the captured Russians, and they were saying we're seen as meat. When's the next batch of meat coming? Now, doesn't that sum something up? They were quite prepared for them to be slaughtered because they're meat. And that could happen to anyone who volunteered to work, to go to war with the Russians as well. Volunteers. They lure them with money, apparently, and it's all right for the first, say, couple of days. Then they turn on them and they become almost slaves of war. Meat. Anyway, that's not a very nice note to hang on this walk with, but it does make you, it said back there, open up your mind. Well, that's what I do all the time. I like that. That little log back there, I like that. I like to think there are people wandering about here who think, critical thinkers. I like it. Over and out.